Dear Star viewers, welcome. In last class, we were discussing about philosophical perspectives of education, its engagements. Yes, today we are going to deal with another subject called psychology of childhood and adolescence. This is also one of the main subject that we are going to study in B.Ed. Okay, so today we are going to discuss all those 5 engagements that are there in this subject, that is psychology of childhood and adolescence. As I told you the first time, prior thing, your cover, like for every book there will be a cover, right? So for this you have to cover it with a white chart, front and back. So first front chart will be like this. You have to take according to the measurement of A4 size paper, and then your front page looks like this. As I told you, your college name, field engagement on psychology of childhood and adolescence, field engagement on any subject that you are going to do, that record that subject's name and name of your name of the student, that is your name, roll number and batch number. As I told you, if you belong to the batch of 20 to 22, then you have to write 2020 to 2022. Done. And this is the back side, which is plain. Okay, this is the front chart. Now coming to the rule 2, this is the first rule which I wanted to clear you first itself, and the second foremost rule which I want to say, which is basic for everything, is you have to write only the right side of your record, that is if you're doing it in A4 size papers, yes. So you should write only to the front side, not to the back side, and that looks like you're writing to the right side but not to the left side. The behind side should be empty. Why are you leaving it empty? Because whenever you need some pictures, you can stick it there. Now it doesn't mean that we don't have any pictures and you can fill up completely with information. No. You know how your science record looks? Like one side it will be empty and other side with lines. But here we are not provided with lines. Yes, we are writing it in the A4 size paper. So one side you can write and other side you can leave it empty. Even you are sticking or not sticking, you will stick, but one page or 2 pages will be sticking. Other pages also will leave empty, but it doesn't mean that you cannot leave that pages empty. You have to leave it empty. Okay, so you are writing only the right side of that paper, one side of that paper, and other side you are going to leave empty. That is a second rule. And the third rule which I want to talk is about your photos. Whatever engagement you do, you need a proof, like you are done with that. Like as I told you in the last class, for seminar you have to take a photo like you're presenting. Either you're presenting a PPT presentation or a chart presentation, or normally on the board you're writing something and presenting. So how it should look like, behind there should be a board stating that is a seminar, your name, roll number and topic, and you're standing by side your pose like you're presenting a seminar. That is for seminar, and also you can stick whatever the pictures related to the seminar in next coming pages, but the first page, that first picture should be your seminar picture, your pose. Okay, that is for seminar. And as I told you, for others also, interviewing a teacher, retired teachers, etc., how you have pasted. So in the same way, you have some activities, some other different activities in this, for which for all 5 engagements you need your photos. Okay, whatever you do, it should be picturized and you should put it in the first page itself. Okay, so photos are mandatory, and you should write only to the one side of the A4 sheet, and other side should be left empty so that you can stick pictures. And the first one is this. Okay, further coming, we also have many other rules which I will explain you according to the situation. Now these are the 3 main things which you have to follow when you are doing a record. Got it? And then now going into engagements. First one, as I told you, it is a seminar. seminar topic. It will be from your textbook itself. Any topic that is you will be assigned with one unit in the class. That one unit, all those subtopics will be divided equally to your groups, and individually you have to come and present whatever your topic is. Even your topic is allotted to 10 different people, your way of presentation will be different. Yes, so according to the topic given, whatever it is, you have to present it here. Maybe they will allot one topic to 5 members each, maybe they will allot one topic to 10 members each. If the information is low or the unit is small, then they may allot like that, or else I can give you individual topics also. So whatever it is, at the end of the day you have to present. So how you are going to present? As I told you, first one is your introduction, like what are you, what is your name and what are you presenting here, alright. And then after you're saying your details, then you have to give a small brief introduction about your topic, and then go into your main body, that is what is its aim, what is its objectives, and what it is actually its advantages, disadvantages, any statistics if you have proving its advantages, disadvantages, and then conclusion. What will you conclude? Like what is the information finally you have understood from this? Not the topic's conclusion. Even if you give the topic's conclusion, finally you should also conclude your point of message, like what did you understand from this thing and what should we all understand, the viewers should understand by seeing your presentation. In the same way, you should put that points in your record also. So when you are first preparing your record in that way, then it is easy to go and present it there, because already you will be half prepared when you are doing this record. So my suggestion is, whenever you have a seminar or any other thing, you have to present it before anyone. What will I say is, first prepare your paperwork ready so that you will be half prepared. Then after coming from there, your work will be already done, and that presenting seminar will also be perfect. If you are going first for seminar, okay, I can deal it very perfectly, done. But then you will have a work burden to complete it. So anyhow you have to complete it. So complete it first in the same format as I told you. Then it looks impressive. Okay, done with the first part, that is seminar is your first engagement. And that will be assigned by your subject teacher. I am just insisting your way how you are going to do it. Okay, so that is your topic. Your teacher gives you, you have to present it in the same way. You have to take a photo and you have to attach it here. Any important details or any graphs you are relating it to, you want to stick, you can also stick that, and you can elaborate the points. That looks much impressive. Okay, so that's your first thing is done, first engagement. So first engagement, let's put a tick. And then now we are coming to the second engagement. From here, these activities are very interesting. In philosophical perspectives of education, we were back of teachers and some philosophers to learn many things in order to be a good teacher. Yes, this BEd training is only for learning a good how to be a good teacher, and more than that, how to be a good human being and how to mold that students into good human being. Yes. So in that we were back of teachers and some great philosophers. Now in this psychology, as is the title itself says, psychology of childhood and adolescence. Here we are going to study the students' behavior, that is maybe they are small children to the elders, like 10 years adolescents, that age is called adolescence. Now we are going to study all these age groups and their behaviors. So from this activity, second, third, fourth, fifth engagements all are related to students itself. So you catch any 5 students between 10 to 6 years or 10 to 5 years. Okay, well, I've selected from the students from age group of 10 to 5 years, and then I took the following details from them. How? Now the second engagement, I'll show you how it is. It is very easy. Now you catch 5 students, 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, 7 years, 6 years. Each of them will respond in a different manner. So you catch 5 students, all these 5 engagements, all these remaining 4 engagements, these questions should be asked to all those 5 students. Now take that 5 students to this topic, like The second engagement will be visit children at 5 places. Okay, you have to visit 5 children that I told you already. So that 5 children should respond for following questions. What are they? The first question will be about their personal data. Okay, now you can divide this first part, this engagement into 4 parts actually. These 4 parts should be dealt by every person, like there are 5 people, each people have 4 parts, like totally 20 parts. Okay, clear? So what are those 4 parts you are going to deal with by each individual or each person is like, first you approach them, take the personal details. Personal details should be the student's name, age, class, school, parents' name, that is mother's name and father's name, that's all. What are they? The student's name, class, age, parents' name and school name, that's it. These are under personal details, and when you are writing this personal details, adjacent paper will be blank. There you have to stick either behind of that personal details or front here itself. In that page or wherever it is blank, you have to stick the first thing that you have taken the photo with that person, that child, you have to stick there and then proceed. This is your part 1, okay, this one individual. And then the part 2 of that first individual will be like after taking part 1, the part 2 will be about their home background. Like, what do you say about your mom? What do you say about your dad? What is your family routine? Now what do you say about your mom? It means that the student or the child, whomever you are interviewing, should say about their mom's professional details and also personal details. Professional details like my mom is lab something, whatever the profession she is, she works here for 15 years, 16 years, whatever the experience. And if she is a housewife, then she can say simply she is a homemaker. And they can also say some qualities describing her mother. My mother is beautiful, my mother is kind, my mother is so patient, she gives me that, she gives me this, etc. They can say very easily. So this covers under the topic, what do you say about your mom? And then the next question, same, you are going to ask about their dad. Now they are going to say about their dad also in the same way. If the dad is working or in the business, whatever in the profession he is, they are going to explain about that, and then why they like dad and why they don't like their dad. In the same way, why they like their mom and why they don't like. So something about your mom, something about your dad, and then the family routine. The third question will be about the family routine. What is family routine? See, if there is a family where the wife and husband goes to work and all the children in the house, they will go to school, they'll come in the evening and they hardly get time to spend, etc. Some family routines will be like this, and there are something family routines like only father goes to office and mom takes care of the house, and children obviously they'll go to school, they'll come and they'll just play. So if every person will have some different kind of routine. Even every person is at house, no one goes to office, but they have their own business or something like that. Even there are few people who are reserved, etc. They will have some kind of different type of routine. It differs from person to person. You have to ask them clearly and note down the points, how are their family routine. Okay, so these are the 3 questions you will cover under the part 2, that is home background, and now that is a part 3. Now what is part 3? You are going to ask about the social background. Social is like friends, relatives, neighbors, etc. Now how is your relation with your friends, neighbors, relatives, etc. Now if you talk about neighbors, friends, relatives, you will say these are my favorite people, I am going to spend much time with them. Whenever they come to our house, we go to the park nearby our house, we will be playing and we will be seeing movies and all, and we have a lot of fun time with all these guys, etc. So these are the some kind of answers we get. So like this we have to ask and we have to find out about the social background. This is only in the part 3, this is only the question about friends, family and neighbors and relatives. Everything covers under the social background. Now after this, the fourth part will be about cultural background, like which culture they belong to, what is the tradition they follow, and what are the festivals they celebrate, etc. What are their favorite festivals and how does the tradition be like, and etc. So all the cultural points covers under this topic, part 4. So how many parts are there? We have 4 parts. Personal details, in which we are going to cover the name of the student, his class and age, and parents name, that is mom's name and dad's name, and the child's school name. Okay, that's all for personal details. That is part 1. And part 2 will be about the home background, wherein they are going to talk about few points about their mom, few points about their dad, and few points about the third question will be the family routine. That is part 2. And part 3 will be about the social background. As I told you, the social background includes their friends, neighbors, relatives, etc. Everything they are going to talk about in that social background itself, done. And the part 4 is about the culture background, wherein they include all their tradition, languages, culture, what are the festivals they do, and which festival they like the most. That's it. Okay, so this second engagement is divided into 4 parts, and all these 4 parts should be asked for every individual. Okay, once you complete you take one person, like you're taking me for first thing I'm of 10 years old, you're asking me complete mine first, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 of mine. Then go to next individual, take again part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, again go to next, again take part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. You may get many pages, but I trust me, that information will be much clear and descriptive than you mingle everything at side. Okay, like select one individual, complete all these parts, and then go to next. For each and every engagement, you are going to divide the same work into parts. You have different types of tasks. You are going to divide it into parts, and you are going to complete all the parts line by line from one individual after next individual after next individual. Okay, when you have a form to fill, when you go outside, you have different parts, right? Personal details, office details, like that. So in the same way, we are going to fill it in the same way, like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Take mine, then take next, like that. 4 parts here, 4 parts there, complete, go on completing like that. That completes your engagement 2. I hope clear, I made it relevant. I mean, I repeated these many times, you will be having an idea how to do it. Now let's move on to engagement 3. That is, you have to again catch all these 5 students are same. Okay, they won't change, but the questions are changing here. Leave it about second engagement, you're done. Now take about the third engagement. Here you're going to observe the dietary habits of that children, and also different circumstances, how do they behave, and gender disparities. Now you have to go and again the same 5 students. So what you're going to ask them, here again you're going to divide that into different parts. First one is dietary habits. Okay, part 1 is about dietary habits. Now how do you ask the question is like, what is your favorite food will be the first question. Okay, then what will be your diet, I mean okay, first you will ask about what is your, I mean what you have in your daily diet, and then what is your favorite food, and what is your favorite snack or favorite food, everything covers at one place. And do you follow any balanced diet or what is that, if they follow, what is that. That's it about the diet system and habits, whatever they follow. And even if you can also include any kind of exercise if they follow, like swimming, dancing, everything comes under exercise only. That age group students won't take that exercises that seriously. Whatever the play they do, that comes under exercise only. What are those that comes under exercise? Swimming, dancing, etc. Playing shuttle and all. If they are indulged in some sports, etc., what are those to make their body fit and active. So you can cover all this in their dietary habits. And the second thing is different circumstances. Now after this, different circumstances will be the second part. Now if you are in the public place, how do you behave? I mean, it covers about the whole thing. How do you eat, how do you behave, how do you sleep, how will you talk, how you move, etc. That comes under that one question. Like, when are you in the function, how will you be? And when are you at your home, when are you before your parents, when are you before your elders, I mean your grandfather, grandmother, and when are you before someone, the unknown person, how do you behave, etc. are the questions that comes under part 2 of this engagement called different circumstances, and that includes everything. So if you ask me that how do I behave before my parents, I am very free with them. And obviously everyone will be free before their parents, but there are few people, they scare before their parents to even behave and sit and talk because they may be strict. But if the parents are easygoing and kind and cool, then we can be very free with them. So that depends upon the way of living they have, like, and the way of environment they live. So like, I'll say I'm very free with my parents, I just go on with however I am, and whenever I go and meet a strange person, how do I behave? So I feel very reserved when I go and mingle with others. I can't be that free when I'm with my own people. Like, these are the answers. Okay, so these are the different answers. So what are the questions you're going to ask in different circumstances? Like, when are you in the school and they won't move any way outside, or they won't meet any strange persons. Even they are going to meet at their functions or any in the school, etc. So what are you asking? That age group will be in the school only. So how do you behave in the school? How do you behave at your house? And how do you behave before your parents? And how do you behave before your relatives? And how do you behave before your friends? These are the different circumstances where they behave. Okay, and even in the functions. So all these points you can collect and make it different questions and collect it from them. So that will be your part 2 of engagement 3, and the part 3 will be gender disparities. Single question, that is, are there any gender disparities? Did someone treat you inferior or superior than everybody? Like, did anytime you felt demotivated because of such behavior? Take down. Okay, then that will be the end of engagement 3. Done. Engagement 3 has only 3 parts. First one is dietary habits, where you are going to question about what is the favorite food, what are their dietary habits, and what are the exercises or the games they played in order to stay fit and active. These are the 3 questions that comes under dietary habits. That is part 1 of engagement 3, and the second part will be about the different circumstances in school, in house, at the parents, in house, before the relatives, when they go to function, when they go to playground, and whenever all the places wherever they go, and if they are before the strangers, etc. Whatever you want to ask, you can ask them. Frame 5 to 6 questions and ask them. Take the details. That is under part 2. And part 3 about the gender disparities, only one question. Did you feel any time inferior because of these conditions, or you felt demotivated? Then what are they? If there is nothing, okay, cool. There is nothing, no such situation that I have faced till now. Everyone were treating me very nicely. That is a great thing to me. Something like this you can take down. Okay, that is the part 3 of engagement 3. Done with this. Okay, here there are only 3 parts. All these 3 parts should be connected to all the 5 individuals. Okay, again you have to ask, you have selected 5 people, right? All these 5 questions, I mean all these 3 parts and all the questions involved in it should be asked for all those 5 people. Like, start with me. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Again next people. Again that person. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Again next people. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Like that, so on up to 5 people. Okay. So done with engagement 3. Now we are going to talk about engagement 4. This is really an interesting topic, like they want to talk. So here again you have the first part about the stories. So first, your home stories. How are your home stories? Like who all live in your family is one story. Like I, my mom, my sister, my brother, my daddy, my mom and my grandma, etc, etc, and how they behave and what are their routines, etc. You have already covered, but you can write it again. And my mom behaves in this way, my dad behaves in this way, I like the way my mom communicates to me, etc, are the home stories till here. And then family stories. Now here you just top it up to the home itself, like about their family, their kids and their environment. And now when you are talking about the family stories, you can also talk about your aunts, your cousins, etc. Okay, my mom has 3 brothers and my dad has 3 sisters, and my dad is the youngest one, so I'm the dearest among the everyone, and they treat me very nicely. I feel like princess whenever I go outside and they meet me, etc, etc, etc. These are the points, and you can talk about the family stories in that way, like if there are any adventures happen whenever you have gone, you have gathered, there are any good moments with you, you have enjoyed a lot, these all comes under family stories. And then parent stories. If your parent have any story in their life, like they were suffering a very hard times and then they have opted this procedure and then they have succeeded, or any this kind of motivational stories your parents have, like people, few of the parents will be like father will be jobless, then once after they got the job their situation changed into top, that was the motivation, because of their children they took that step and they went forward, etc. These are the parent stories that can be any kind. Okay, then studying habit. Now you are going to ask about their studying habit. Now in the first now here also it is divided into 1 2 3 4 parts it is divided. Okay, so first part will be about the home. Only one question, what are your stories about your home background? Again, so you will say about your dad, mom, etc. There you have spoken individually. Now you accumulate all the points about your sister, about your brother, whoever lives in your house. Then that becomes the one question that is about family story. You write that family story and write the, home story you write for the first part. And then the second part will be about the family story. You can accumulate all your sisters, brothers, cousins, etc. What were they doing, and if there are any funny incidents with them, you can also write that in family stories. And then the third part will be about the parent stories. Parent stories, the mom and dad are relatively whatever they have taken the decisions for your life to be successful, and also what are the steps they took to make you happy, or else whenever they were struggling what did you help them, etc, etc. Not about you. Okay, you are going to ask all these questions for the children who are there before you, for them. Okay, so you are going to ask them and they are going to explain you all these things. And the fourth part will be about the studying habit. So in this question you again have 2-3 questions, like first question, are you following any timetable for your studies? That will be your first question. Obviously no will be the answer. Or some people will be like, when the parents are strict or they are very much interested in studying, then they will say yes, I follow a timetable for each and everything. And nowadays where is the time, because everyone are moving in online classes, etc. That is only the timetable, so obviously it will be a few kind of yeses also. Okay, you take according to their habit. The first question will be, are you following a timetable? And the second question will be, what is your favorite subject? And what is the third question will be like, where do you stand in your class? Either you're a topper, you're average student, or you're done. You cannot ask that, but where do you stand in the class? What do your teachers say about you? You can ask like this, what do your teachers say about you? That is the third question. Okay, done with that studying habits. And then also the fourth question will be like, any extracurricular activities that you are interested in. Okay, when you are taking part in this class, maybe in the sports, in the curricular events, cultural events, etc. Singing, dancing, drama, whatever it is, the hidden talents. Are you interested in anything? Did you take part? Did you win any prize? They will be telling you everything. That will be under the fourth question called, are you interested in any extracurricular activities? What are the 4 questions in studying habit? What is your timetable pattern. Are you following any timetable? That is the first question. Second question is about what is your favorite subject, or what are your favorite subjects. And then the third question will be what your teacher say about you. I mean, there will be a class teacher for every class, right? So what she says about you. And then the fourth question is what are the extracurricular activities you are interested in. Okay, these are the 4 questions under the study habit. And this is the last part. So here again in engagement 4, you have 4 parts. Part 1 is about home story, part 2 is about family story, part 3 is about your parents' stories, and part 4 is about the studying habit that you have to explain. In all these 3 kinds of stuff, there is only one question: home story, family story, parents' stories. But in the part 4, you have 4 questions, that is timetable, favorite subject, what your teacher's opinion, and then the 4th one is extracurricular activities. This covers under part 4, and these all are the questions. And again you have to ask part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, again part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and so on for 5 students. Okay, done with 4th engagement. Easy, clear? If you are not clear, go back, pause the video, watch it number of times. That is what I am making a video, so that it will be helpful to you. Yes, it doesn't cost anything, so you can watch and you can learn. Okay, don't get confused. Then the last but not the least, the 5th engagement is about the favorite TV programs. Even if you ask them to stop, they won't stop. They will be keep telling you many things even you don't know or you didn't watch. Okay, so this is the interesting, and this is really an interesting thing, like dealing with that kids and asking them. It will be like refreshing them. They will also be able to connect to you, etc. So this is the last point, which is like they are very favorite. Maybe till now they are bored with all these kind of questions, but this 5th question they will be much active to respond you from here after. So what will you ask them? Here you have again, you have to ask about the TV program which they like. That is the first question. Okay, we will divide it into parts. How will you divide? Now I'll read the question first. Collect views of children about TV program, their characters, stories, what the characters or what the stories they like, what the channels or what the episodes they follow, and why, and what are their suggestions. Okay, and what are the popular TV programs? So first one is favorite TV program, first question, and then the second question, what is a favorite character they like in that their favorite TV program, and why do they like? Okay, why they like that character, and also about what are some other TV popular programs. Okay, many of them will answer maybe Shin-chan or Doraemon if they are kids, and few of them will say about movies. Okay, if they are saying about movies, obviously they will say about some heroes or heroines, etc. And they will explain why are they so fascinated about them, like they are funny, they are cool, like that, they are adventurous, okay, they are good at fighting, okay, like that. So they explain their reasons. So first, favorite TV program, favorite character, and why they like that character will be the third question, and else that any other TV programs that they watch. Okay, these are the 4 questions. And the last question will be, how did you feel after answering all these 5 engagements? Will be the part, only the 5th question you can include in this last part, in this engagement 5 itself. You need not make it any other thing. You can just include your small suggestion you want to give. You ask, how did you feel after answering all these things? They say good or nice. Okay, you can add that. So these are the 5 different questions: favorite TV program, favorite character, why do they like that character, any other TV programs they like the most, and then 5th one is what did they feel after answering all these questions. Okay, once I'll read again every engagement to you. Please listen. First engagement is seminar. Second engagement is visit children at 5 places to understand home, social, cultural backgrounds. Okay, then engagement 3, that is observe the dietary habits of children in different circumstances and gender disparities. As I told you that parts. And then fourth point, the fourth engagement is interview children and collect stories from them about their home, family stories, parent stories, related parent stories and studying habits. Okay, fine. Then the last fifth engagement is about collect views of children about TV programs, characters, stories, what they like and why, and what are the popular TV programs they watch and what are their suggestions. These are the 5 different engagements that you have in psychology of childhood and adolescence. And this first page should be this in the last page. And this is the first rule, and second rule is that you should write only to the one side of paper, and the third one is you have to take the photos with, yes, this is the foremost thing. As I told you, you take the photos with all these 5 people, and my suggestion is you take 5 photos with each individual and you have different parts. Yes, so in every engagement you have to stick. So you plan accordingly how many photos you need, then take it and attach wherever it is needed. Clear? Fine? Okay, that comes to the end of the session called Psychology of Childhood and Adolescence. I hope I made it very clear and relevant by spelling it and discussing about it 2 to 3 times. And even if you have any doubts, even after this, you can comment and let me know. I will be ready to answer. And with the next topic, I will be very soon before you in the next class. Till then, kindly like, share and subscribe our channels and stay tuned to Shrestha. Thank you.